From Adult Social Care's Committee today, I'd like to make three major points. The first relates to the use of budgets. We had some extra money from government, which comes in over 3 years. There's been an underspend of that that's been carried over and added to next year's money, which makes a total of 20 million. We're concerned that that's going to disappear in revenues, whereas we know there are families with disabilities out there who are having a disability fund of £15 a week, £60 a month cut. That represents a huge hit on family incomes, but it represents just 0.11%, a little over 1/10 of 1% of the budget for adult social care. We want to question that and make sure that people get the money that they deserve. The second point I'd like to make relates to a government green paper coming up on the continued funding of adult social care across Norfolk, indeed across the country. We won a major concession there because one of the things that local authorities have is called revenue support grant, which is local authorities take of the share of taxes raised by government. And the concession we raised was to have this reviewed because government wants to cut this back to zero. That's zero revenue support grant, and there is no chance of raising this money elsewhere. The third point relates to vulnerable families and children and vulnerable adults. This was within the scope of the committee papers today, but mysteriously there was no discussion or debate on this, and I was told that this is to be referred to the Policy and Resources Committee, which I will certainly raise through other members and make sure this is properly discussed, because it has some important ramifications, because we know, for example, that children's centres, Sure Start centres, have had their budgets cut by 50%, and this is quite simply unsustainable for families across Norfolk.